If God is one, why are there many religions? And well, I would say that in these videos that are for beginners in the faith, there are two things that can explain that: one on the side of the man of us, and the other on the side God of his intentions on us. On the side of man, just be a philosopher and look at what happened in history. It is clear that at one time humanity was on earth, populated by animals, giant without knowing, having forgotten, I would say having forgotten the purpose of this life, and so men, our ancestors, try to find an explanation to all. At the beginning, when he hunted the animals, they could seals otherwise catch them easily, feed the family. Well, they tended to worship animals, that said nism. And then when agriculture was invented, while the sun, the rain could kill the whole family if the sun shines, and too much if the rain fell too much, they began to worship the sun, and even at sacrifices to the sun, because it was better to offer his eldest son for the rest of the family to survive, in order to put these gods awful and cold benevolent compared to our so religions was found as they could by man who sought to understand what was being done on earth, and then at a given time a single god smit to reveal himself to men. It is thought that it started with Abraham and had also attempted in Egypt with Pharaoh Akhenaton, this unique God, creator of all the other gods in quotation marks, was therefore the true God. And then philosophers themselves began to look at the time of Socrates and found that it was necessary to ask a creator of the unique universe is the God in question we are talking about. The problem is that to know it there are several ways. It's a bit like if I wanted to know the one who made this remote. I know it exists. There is inte, say he is an engineer or a factory worker somewhere in China, and I know his existence by a simple reasoning. And well, that's how men did. He saw the creation, discovered things about the creator, but deeply this man who he put this remote, he may be married, he may be in trouble with his wife, he has children he loves with all his heart, and it's difficult to see his creation, to know it well. It's the same thing in relation to God. Know the secrets of his heart, his intention on us from this fragile world where we can die. Very difficult. And so the men searched but found little God on the side of God. Now things were different, and here I will talk about what the Christian revelation God said had a project on man, his purpose communicated to men and even to other creatures like angels, the same attitudes he saw who could see him face to face, that in a total love, but that it had to be done in a free choice with conditions, because this infinite God was as immensely humble as a loving person, and so he had to be well prepared. The heart of the man, he is thus put on earth, and he left the time of this earth several ways to lead at a given moment when he wants it to the unique purpose that gives salvation, to know the revelation of his inner life. So the time of the earth God allowed to link several religions of him, of this unique God, because not all have reached the same level in the way some worship God as a great creator, terrible, scary. It was the time of Lewis, and it still exists on earth. Others worship it like of Hab the servant by loving him as obedient servants. It is Islam in his spiritual part, and then by Jesus Christ God made man come salvation, while the other religions are only preparing the salvation that ve to tell the true reason of all. And Jesus reveals that one can be intimate friend of God, beloved in a chorus at heart, which sometimes looks almost like the husband's between a couple, a man and a woman. It is my tenderly, obviously it's the top, and all man does not have that. Why any man does not have that right away? Because since it's a first purgatory, a first step of our way to heaven, if ever a single religion on the true earth is the one of Christ dominating. And well, we know what would happen. Man being what he is, he would make it a civilization of pride, a Tower of Babel. As therefore temporarily God prefers that there be several paths to divide a single flock, will come at the time of death, especially when any man will see Christ. But that's another story that I will show later.